Hi friends, it's Miss Callahan. Today we are going to learn all about plants. But first, before we get started, I have a little story that I want to share with you. But first, look at my PowerPoint. Look at the water in the background. Here we go. So, my son Thaddeus and I, and no, none of these pictures are of him and I, we love to play outside all the time. If he could, he would be outside 24/7. But right now we know that the weather is very, very cold. But it was summertime and we were playing at the park and he just stopped. And he asked me, he said, "Mommy, what is that?" And he picked up a flower or a plant, but specifically this time it was a flower. And I told him how beautiful a flower was and how it grows from the earth. And he just kept saying how pretty it was. And he said he wanted to do an experiment. His new thing is experiments. He loves to do cool things in science. And anyway, so he wanted to do an experiment with this flower. He wanted to see all the different parts of the flower and how it got its food and water and how it survived. So then, like I said, we discussed how a plant survives, what it needs to grow, like what he needs to grow up to be a big boy. And we started to talk about how it needed rain for its water, and it needs sunlight to help it grow too. The sun is kind of like its food. And he thought that was so cool, but he goes, "Mommy, how does it get the rain and the sun? How does it help the flower to grow?" So then we discussed the different parts of the plant. Sorry, you probably can't see that, friends. So we discussed the different parts of the plant. We took the flower out and I showed him the different parts. And at the bottom, there are the roots. And I told him the roots, that's where the water comes down into the soil and it goes and soaks up all the water and nutrients from the soil that the plant needs to grow. And then it goes through the stem right here, kind of like a tunnel. It sucks up from the roots, and then it goes to the stem, all the way to the flower and the leaves. Yeah, and that's how the flower and the leaves grow, because of the roots, sucks up the water, and goes to the stem, to the flowers. And then also the sun shoots down on it, so it helps it grow big and strong. And also, friends, there's no good picture of it, but in the soil are some things called nutrients. Can you say nutrients? Yeah, and the nutrients are also the food, kind of like what we have food to help us grow and water to help us grow. Plants need that too. So my son Thaddeus was so excited, and he said, "Mommy, can we grow our own flowers? This is so cool." So of course we went home, and we started to plant our own garden. Now, I love lilacs. So I said, "Of course, Bubba, we can plant some lilac bushes." So we went out there, we dug in the soil, we put the plant in, and we gave it some water and made sure there's a lot of nutrients in the soil, and we had the sun there. Now again, these aren't the actual pictures, friends, of my bushes, but this is what they'll grow big and strong to look like. So every day my son Thaddeus and I go out and water it unless it rains and make sure it was planted in a nice sunny spot. And at the end he goes, "Mommy, I love you and I love our new flowers." Wasn't that a wonderful story, friends? I know I learned a lot about plants. So for your assignment, friends, after we go across the street to the garden, we're going to look at the flowers. You're going to be able to bring one back, and you're going to first draw a picture of your flower, kind of like they did here. Then you're going to label the different parts. Make sure you label the leaves, the flower, the stem, and the roots. And then you're going to draw what the flower needs to grow. So you can maybe draw some soil, some rain, and some sunlight. Friends, you did a wonderful job. Let's go outside.